until the storm had passed. They gave her food and dry clothes to wear. When the prince heard about the girl that claimed to be a princess, he asked to see her. Maybe she was the girl he had been searching for. The girl was very beautiful, even more beautiful than the ladies the prince saw on his journey. The prince fell in love at first sight and wanted her to be his wife. But first, he wanted to make sure the girl was a princess like she claimed. The queen was also concerned. Then they came up with a plan. "I have an idea," the queen declared. "I will put a pea under a stack of 10 mattresses. If the girl sleeps well, she might not be royalty. But if she notices something hard under the mattresses, she is without a doubt a princess." Soon, it was time to go to sleep. The queen took the girl to her room. "My goodness, I've never seen so many mattresses on one bed," the girl exclaimed. "Just wanted to make sure you were comfortable," said the queen. "Good night." In the morning, the queen asked, "How did you sleep?" "I hate to complain, but I did not sleep a wink," the girl said. "It felt like there was a hard lump under the mattresses." The prince and queen now knew that the girl was really a princess, as no ordinary woman could feel a tiny pea under all those mattresses. The prince and princess were married, and they lived happily ever after. The Wind and the Sun. The wind always bragged about his powerfulness.
"I'm strong. I can blow leaves down the street. I can blow a cap off a boy's head. I can make a little girl shake,"
said the wind. He believed he was stronger than anyone, even the sun. Unlike the wind, the sun was gentle and nice. She made heat and light for people, but she did not brag about this and usually remained quiet. The wind thought the sun was weaker than him. He disregarded the sun's rays and beams of light.
"I like the light of the moon more than I like yours,"
said he. The sun just smiled.
"Whatever you say, I still love my job,"
she replied. Just then, the wind saw a man walking along a road. The man was wearing a pair of pants, a shirt, a sweater, a coat, and laced boots. The wind made a bet with the sun. He said,
"I can get the man to take off his clothes by using my powers, but you can't. Do you dare to compete with me?"
The sun accepted the challenge. The wind went first. He took a deep breath and started to blow freezing blasts of air. However, it didn't work. The man kept walking. He pulled his coat tighter around him, and held onto the top near the collar. He even took gloves out of his pocket and put them on his hands. No matter how hard the wind tried, the man did not take off his clothes. Finally, the wind ran out of breath and gave up. Then came the sun's turn. She closed her eyes and sent hot sunbeams down the road where the man walked. The man felt very hot. He gradually took off his coat, his sweater, his shirt, and then his gloves. He even took off his boots and walked on his bare feet. Thus, the sun won the contest. The wind became sad and angry. He hid his face and did not want to meet anyone else. Seeing this, the sun gently smiled and said,
My dear friend, this contest does not prove anything. Neither of us is stronger than the other. We both have our own jobs to do. As long as we complete our special jobs, people will have enough wind, light, and sunshine to maintain their lives. That is our priority, not competing against each other.
Now the wind realized how foolish she was to have such an arrogant attitude. After that, he and the sun enjoyed their special jobs and lived in harmony.
The Two Goats. There were two bearded goats. One was white and the other was black. They lived in an area of great beauty where the sky was always a bright shade of blue, and the grass and trees were lovely shades of green. Each of these goats lived on either side of a great wide chasm, where they had lots of good food to eat. However, each one began thinking that life on the other side of the chasm was better than the one they were living. So they thought of crossing over to the other side one day. But in order to do this, they would have to walk across a very narrow tree that formed a bridge from one side to the other. However, under the bridge, down below, the water churned fiercely, and there were rapids that would swallow up anyone who fell into them. Furthermore, the rocks were so pointed and sharp that they would cut anything into pieces. One day, the white goat decided that it was time to cross over the chasm and get to the other side. So, he started to cross the bridge. The black goat decided to do the same.
Where are you going?
Shouted the white goat when he saw the black goat coming.
Over to your side, of course,
The black goat replied.
Turn back,
Yelled the white goat.
because the two of us cannot cross at the same time.
why don't you turn back instead?
Asked the black goat.
Because I started first.
replied the white goat.
You're wrong. I was first.
The black goat told the white goat. Neither of them would turn back, so they continued walking until they met in the middle. They stared angrily at each other. They were both stubborn, and neither was prepared to turn back.
Move out of the way so I can get to the meadow over there,
said the white goat.
No, you move so I can go to the other side,
said the black goat. Neither would move, and they didn't dare to look down at the raging water and the sharp rocks below.
I got to the middle first, so you should move and let me pass,
said the white goat.
I'm older than you, so you should step aside for me,
said the black goat.
If you weren't so stubborn, we wouldn't be in this trouble,
replied the white goat.
You'd better move or I'll knock you over,
said the black goat.
You wouldn't dare,
replied the white goat. They stood there in the middle of the bridge and continued arguing fiercely, but neither of them moved to let the other pass. They were there for so long that their legs grew tired, and they became very hungry. They began trying to push the other back, using their horns, which became locked together. Then neither the white goat nor the black goat could budge from where they were. Soon their legs began to slip and slide, and they both fell into the raging, rock-filled waters below. All this happened because the goats were both stubborn and would not yield to the other's request.
The Emperor's New Clothes, written by Katie Stanley. Once upon a time, there was an emperor who loved beautiful clothes. He was looking for the best tailor to make clothes for him. Two brothers heard the news. They were not tailors, but they said they were. They were lying crooks. "We can make the most fashionable clothes," they called out loudly outside the palace gate. The emperor agreed to meet them. "We are very good tailors," said the brothers. "We will sew the most fashionable suit for you. It will be so light and fine that it will seem invisible. Only those who are stupid will not see it." The emperor ordered the suit to be made. He gave them lots of money for it. "Ha ha ha! We will trick the emperor," the two brothers said, laughing. They pretended to work day and night. In time, the emperor sent his assistant to check their work. They showed him the suit, but he could not see anything at all. He did not want to be called stupid, so he said it was beautiful. He lied to the emperor. He said they were the most fashionable clothes he had ever seen. Finally, the emperor's new suit was finished. I do not see anything," thought the emperor. He didn't want to be called stupid, so he said, "The suit is very beautiful." The emperor pretended to put on the invisible suit. Everyone clapped their hands. but he was not wearing anything at all. The emperor wanted to show off his new clothes. He walked around the city. The emperor has no clothes, everyone thought. But no one said anything. They did not want to be called stupid. Ha ha ha! Look, the emperor does not have on any clothes, a little boy said, pointing at the emperor. Everyone was shocked, but they started to laugh too. The emperor knew he was tricked. He was so embarrassed. He ran straight to the palace.